check your financial literacy and financial comfortability, because these two elements are the extremes, but still they run parallel. Subscribe this channel with notification. You will get valuable inputs for your personal and professional development. Financial literacy is a knowledge about the financial parameters that enhances your lifestyle. For anybody to succeed, we need to have these two criteria to be well understood. Number one, in your financial literacy, that takes the priority is the budgeting part, and number two is your savings part. The budgeting is more focused around the key areas which are inevitable, which you need to spend upon on a monthly basis, for which you need to have a perfect plan of action. And the savings is basically divided into two segments. One is those essential expenditures which is inevitable, which needs to be spent on an immediate future, and those areas where you save and which is set aside to be spent on your future eventualities. Say like education expenditure for your children, the insurance plan for your safety, the vehicle being insured, and these are certain examples for your long-term perspective for which you need to spend right now. On a practical scenario, what we see around in this world that happens is this society is basically stratified into financially rich or the elite group, the middle class, and the lower strata. If you check on the upper middle class and the rich, they are quite habitual into spending less and saving more. These people are highly judicious about their spending patterns. They develop over years of practice the best way how to prioritize their expenditure. And these people are judicious to invest in such an area where in due course of time that investment turns to be an asset and which is productive for them. Whereas the middle class or just below the middle class, they are always, most of the time they are carried away with the luxuries of life, and they primarily focus on their spendings. How much ever this best source they have for their perennial source of income, they keep spending for their luxury and the comforts. So the rich basically invests on assets which generates income for him. The middle class invests on liabilities wherein he has to maintain his livelihood on a continuous run for earnings. So eventually what happens? The money works for the rich, whereas the middle class works for money, and the rich spends more on key areas which in turn generates income for him, whereas the middle class spends more on luxuries. The rich spends less and saves more. The middle class spends more and saves less, and the poor spends and he's least bothered about savings, and his primary objective is to see that that particular day is a lovely and a heavenly day for him. So be it an employer or an employee, the basic input that everybody needs to keep in mind is about the philosophy of what financial literacy is. And with that philosophy, he needs to put that into practice on a regular basis, through which he will develop a beautiful skill set to prioritize his expenditures, to prioritize his budgets, and prioritize his savings pattern. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notification for more information.